Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Gold ribbons cover Ohio University and Athens in support of Child Cancer Awareness Month. Good evening, I'm Allison Gens. Thanks for joining us. The university is also kicking off the weekend by welcoming students' parents to campus. It's Parents Weekend at Ohio University, and there are several events planned for the next couple of days. Broadway and TV star Adam Trent will be at the Templeton Blackburn Alumni Memorial Auditorium tonight at 8 p.m. Stargazing and campfire events will take place at the Ridges this evening. Families will also be able to support childhood cancer research at 45 local businesses in Athens. And with all that planned, some parents are just looking forward to the simple things to do in Athens.
Take her shopping to get some more stuff for her dorm that we didn't quite do right the first time. And then there's a few activities that she actually has planned for us that she got off the website.
We're going to go uptown, see some of her business classes, have lunch, just see the campus a little bit.
Shop, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Just the whole environment is just charming, and it's just the old school feel of it. It's just a lovely place to be. So it's great.
Student organizations are hosting many events that students will be able to enjoy with their parents. Ohio University's Black Student Union gathered last night to discuss images painted on the graffiti wall earlier this week. The group discussed how to prevent events like this in the future. OU's NAACP chapter collaborated with the Black Student Union during a joint meeting. The meeting was held to devise a plan to combat racism on campus. Members also want to get other student organizations on board and make students aware of the message they are trying to send.
We know we're not going to change everyone's minds, and that's not our mission. Our mission is to grab the people that are kind of neutral in the middle and say, hey, we're not so bad after all, and kind of help sway that narrative so it looks different than what they may see on TV or hear from their peers.
The groups have outlined a general plan going forward. They hope to accomplish this plan with the help of faculty and student support. One person was sent to the hospital after an accident on Route 3250 in Albany this morning. According to the State Highway Patrol, an SUV was traveling eastbound on US 50, started to cross and stopped in the right-hand lane. A logging truck traveling westbound saw the SUV, swerved, and sounded his horn to alert the driver. The SUV started forward again and was hit by the truck in the passing lane. Neither drivers were injured in the accident, but the woman in the passenger seat of the truck was trapped for a period of time. She had no visible injuries, but was taken to a Blennis hospital for an evaluation.
Very fortunate all the way around. The young lady that failed to yield is fortunate that he swerved when he did, and because she'd have taken it in the driver's door. So everybody all the way around was very lucky.
The driver of the SUV was cited for failing to yield at the stop sign. September is National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and Athens is going gold in recognition. Around Athens, gold ribbons and banners can be seen as part of Go Gold Week. Ohio University and Athens High School have come together with the Go Gold Fund to raise awareness for the disease. The fund, directed by co-founder Angela Dina, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to elevating the importance of childhood cancers. Gold ribbons will also be painted on the football fields and helmets of both schools.
From the Newswatch Weather Center, I'm Matt Thigpen. Right now in Athens, we're seeing 87 degrees, warm day out there for the first half day of fall. Man, it's hot out there. The northwest winds at 3 miles per hour, dew point at 57, humidity low at 29%. Looking around, regional outlook, 87 here again in Athens, 87 in our state's capital in Columbus, 88 in Cambridge, New Martinsville at 90 degrees, same with Ironton at 90 degrees, Ripley at 88, 88's all over the board. They're just covering our regional board. Look at that high school football forecast. Kickoff here in a little bit, 80 degrees, should cool down by a couple degrees by the time kickoff starts. Partly cloudy. Calm conditions, winds northwest 0 to 5 miles per hour. I know that comes into play when it comes to kicking those field goals. That might come into play tonight, but it should be calm out there. What do you think, Allison?
13-year-old Tyree King's funeral is set for tomorrow morning. The service in Columbus is open to the public. King was fatally shot by a Columbus police officer investigating a report of armed robbery. Evidence in the shooting investigation will automatically be presented to a grand jury. They will determine if the officer's actions were justified or charges are warranted. Tyree's family wants an independent investigation. One Ohio school district expects a decision within a week on the ruling of transgender bathrooms in the schools. Highland Local School District in Morrow County challenged the Obama administration's rule on transgender bathrooms in schools and could lose federal funds for its treatment of a student who's biologically male but identifies as female. The district says allowing the student to use the girls' restroom would jeopardize other students' privacy rights. 3 Vinning County residents are in jail tonight after allegedly murdering a toddler. Dustin Hutchinson, mother of the child, Shannon Patterson, and grandmother Dorothy Morrison were all arrested in connection. The Vinning County Sheriff's Office received a report in February that a 2-year-old child was brought to the hospital after vomiting and having a major head injury. The 3 were arrested with a slew of charges, including murder, tampering with evidence, and endangering children. All 3 are being held at Southeastern Ohio Regional Jail. Ohio's battle against heroin is far from over. Federal authorities say in the past year, 96 people were charged in heroin trafficking cases, including 2 fatal cases. Acting U.S. Attorney for Ohio's Southern District, Benjamin Glassman, says that fatal overdoses continue to occur about once every 2 days. He says this isn't a victory, and they're reaffirming the commitment to fight the opioid problem in southwestern Ohio. A federal appeals court says Ohio's election chief has been wrongfully removing voters from the state's registration list. The American Civil Liberties Union of Ohio and a public advocacy group known as Demos claimed the state illegally dropped registered voters based on their failure to vote. The Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals in Cincinnati ruled that the Ohio's process violates the National Voter Registration Act. This ruling comes after the Justice Department asked the appeals court to reverse the opinion of the district judge in July. And coming up after the break, uproars in Charlotte still continue after the shooting of Keith Scott. Plus, we'll give you a look at the new numbers in the national poll. In addition, the Scott family has released footage of Keith Scott's interaction with the police. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
Friday nights are all about high school football, but when the games are over and the helmets come off, it's time for some gridiron glory. I'm your host, Danny Dean, back under center. Don't miss a play this season. Join myself and the rest of our team on Friday nights at 11:30 on WOUB and catch us again on Saturday mornings at 11:30. We are committed to bringing you the stories of players, coaches, and communities, and of course, we can't forget about some highlights. We all know there's nothing better than Friday nights and gridiron glory.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
After a riot broke out in Charlotte, North Carolina last night, the Scott family released the video of the shooting. Please note the footage is graphic. Emily Schmidt has more.
Keith, don't let them break the windows. Come on out the car. Keith, don't do it.
That is the voice of Keith Scott's wife. On video, she recorded.
He doesn't have a gun. He has a TBI. He's not going to do anything to you guys.
As a Charlotte police officer fatally shot her husband. Lawyers for the Scott family released the video Friday, hours after protesters called for the release of 2 other videos, these recorded by police. Police have one video from another officer's body camera, another from a dashboard camera.
I wish just based on video evidence, it could give us probable cause, but it didn't work that way.
Charlotte's police chief says the case is now with the State Bureau of Investigation, which he expects to gather more information before releasing the video. Charlotte's mayor says the police videos are inconclusive about what Scott was holding. Scott's families watched the videos as well. Their lawyer wants the images released to the public now.
You can see what appears to be some type of object in his hand, but he never raises it at any point.
Video recorded by Scott's wife does not show if Scott had a gun. Meanwhile, Charlotte's leaders say they'll remain on the same level of alert heading into the weekend, hoping a citywide curfew, the National Guard, and a call for calm will work for protesters who have a call
Release the video!
Of their own. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
The family was met with opposition from Charlotte Police Chief Kerr Putney on whether or not to release the video. The mayor was in support of the family and agreed that the video to be released to the public. A new poll shows Hillary Clinton with a nice lead over Donald Trump heading into the first presidential debate. The McClatchy-Marist poll was released today. It shows the Democratic nominee with a solid 6-point lead over the Republican nominee. Clinton leads Trump in the poll 45% to his 39%. Both candidates struggle with low favorability numbers. Clinton and Trump will meet at Hofstra University in New York Monday night for their first primetime debate. On the Trump official website right now, they are selling buttons that say Hillary for Prison 2017. Trump is offering these buttons as a set of 3 with 3 different designs. During a rally in Houston this afternoon, Senator Tim Kaine expressed his complaints about Trump's new merchandise.
This is not some guy just made up a few buttons and selling them in a park. No, this is on their official website, trying to make money selling buttons saying Hillary for Prison, a First Lady of Arkansas who worked on maternal and prenatal health, a First Lady of the United States who did great things, a senator who after 9/11 got health care for first responders and their families.
And Americans are not the only ones paying attention to this year's presidential election. Germans and Americans gathered this morning to take down an 8-foot makeshift wall with an image of Donald Trump painted on it in Berlin. Participants are urging Americans who live in Germany to not vote for Donald Trump. More than 6 million American citizens who live abroad are eligible to vote. The group is targeting 7 of the top countries where most Americans live abroad. North Korean Foreign Minister Ri Yong-ho defended the self-defense measures taken by the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. He said that the United States has threatened the DPRK by flying the strategic bomber B-1B over the military demarcation line.
The DPRK had no other choice but to go nuclear inevitably after it has done everything possible to defend the national security from the constant nuclear threat from the U.S., which had continued over the century from the 1950s.
The foreign minister went on to say the United States will have to face consequences for its actions. And on Wall Street today, stocks took a hit. We've all been told that red wine is good for the heart, but a new study suggests that alcohol is not as beneficial as previously believed. That story's still ahead.
And a dry, mild weekend will lead into a cooler work week. That's all in my extended forecast. Stay tuned.
Professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
Friday nights are all about high school football, but when the games are over and the helmets come off, it's time for some gridiron glory. I'm your host, Danny Dean, back under center. Don't miss a play this season. Join myself and the rest of our team on Friday nights at 11:30 on WOUB, and catch us again on Saturday mornings at 11:30. We are committed to bringing you the stories of players, coaches, and communities, and of course, we can't forget about some highlights. We all know there's nothing better than Friday nights and gridiron glory.
From the Newswatch Weather Center on the campus of Ohio University, I'm Matt Thigpen. Right now in Athens, we see 87 degrees, winds northwest at 3 miles per hour, a few clouds lingering out there for our evening commute. Today, we tied our record, 91 degrees here in Athens, tied back from the temperature 91 back in 1984. Wow, not a good start to fall. Hot, hot, hot. 90 degrees in Ironton, 88 in Ripley, 88 up in Cambridge, and 90 in New Martinsville. For our fall outlook, first day of fall, full day, late October, mid-October for our area was when that foliage will start to peak in our region. I can see mainly reds in our area because of the dry conditions we've been having. Precipcast for tomorrow. We'll see that cold front slowly work through, bring us no precipitation. Our air mass is too dry around our region. It'll just give us a few clouds, those few clouds that we saw today, and will linger into tomorrow. As you can see, tomorrow we'll see those partly cloudy skies, dry, plentiful sunshine if you're out there walking around campus or just riding your bike at Stroud's. 82 tomorrow in Athens, 87 down in Ironton, more sun to our southeastern counties. Southwest we'll see more clouds, 80 in Columbus and 83 in Chillicothe, with our upper 70s up here in Newark and Cambridge. And as we look at our football forecast, OU's football taking on Gardner-Webb here in Athens, 79 degrees by kickoff. Sunny skies, light breeze, 0 to 5 miles per hour. Great day to go to that game. For tonight, 64, mostly clear skies, calm winds. What a great night to go out. Man, look at that. Temperatures across our region. Tonight, again, 64 here in Athens, 61 in Ripley, 61 in New Lexington, 62 in Newark. Man, 60s all across our region, lower 60s football forecast. I know you're probably already out there. Kickoff, 80 degrees tonight. Winds light and variable, 0 to 5 miles per hour. Coming out of the northwest, though. Interesting direction. Calm conditions. Hour by hour for tomorrow. We got 8 a.m., 64 degrees. Noon, 73 for tomorrow, ending at 82. Extended forecast tomorrow. We see 82 degrees, 83 for Sunday. As we break away at that, let's take a look. Weekend forecast, let's look at that. 82 tomorrow, 57 Saturday evening. Sunday, 82, plentiful sunshine. And look at this, Monday is our next chance for rain, 85 degrees, 75 by Tuesday. We're looking more like fall now, Allison. How's that look?
You know, I'm getting really excited to start seeing some of that fall weather now that we're officially into our fall season. And now, new research suggests that alcohol might not be as good for the heart as once thought. The study examined data from the Framingham Heart Study, a large ongoing study that looks at the risk factors for heart disease. Kim Hutcherson has more in today's Health Minute.
A new study finds that drinking alcohol, even in moderation, may increase the size of one of the heart's chambers and leave people at risk for irregular heartbeat and a host of other problems. Researchers analyzed data from more than 5,200 people from the same Massachusetts town. Participants reported how much alcohol they drank each week. The sizes of their hearts were measured, and they were tested for atrial fibrillation or irregular heartbeat. Analysts found that, over the study period, having about one alcoholic drink daily was linked to small increases in the size of the left atrium, one of the two upper chambers in the heart. An enlarged left atrium increases a person's risk of atrial fibrillation. That can cause blood to pool inside the left atrium, leading to blood clots or stroke. But researchers point out that these findings may not apply to everyone. Some people may be genetically predisposed to atrial fibrillation. The study was published in the Journal of the American Heart Association. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
So the next time you head out to the bars, just keep in mind that you're doing more than just damaging your liver.
Hello everyone, I'm Sean Knighty. Coming up on Newswatch, you'll hear from Ohio football coach Frank Solich on what the team has to do to get a win tomorrow against Gardner-Webb. And I'll let you know which games Gridiron Glory will be at tonight and how you can tune in to see highlights of your favorite teams. Stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up on your television station.
Friday nights are all about high school football, but when the games are over and the helmets come off, it's time for some gridiron glory. I'm your host, Danny Dean, back under center. Don't miss a play this season. Join myself and the rest of our team on Friday nights at 11:30 on WOUB and catch us again on Saturday mornings at 11:30. We are committed to bringing you the stories of players, coaches, and communities, and of course, we can't forget about some highlights. We all know there's nothing better than Friday nights and gridiron glory.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
think our players understand, we drill it in them from day one, that, you know, we have got to step on the field every time and playing to our ability, maximizing it out if we're going to expect to be the kind of team we want to be.
Ohio football head coach Frank Solich there talking about how his team is preparing to host an FCS opponent, the Gardner-Webb Runnin' Bulldogs, at 2 p.m. tomorrow at Peden Stadium. Ohio is coming off a loss to the 15th ranked team in the country, the Tennessee Volunteers, so a date with a Division II team could be just what the Bobcats need. Ohio had a great game against Kansas 2 weeks ago, so they'll be looking to get back to running the ball successfully like they did against the Jayhawks. Ohio will go from playing in front of over 100,000 fans in Tennessee to just about 20,000 in Peden, and they'll be seeing a different Gardner-Webb team that's not on the same level as the Volunteers.
They run a fair amount of option on offense, and so we're going to be seeing that, and obviously you have to prepare for that. And if you don't prepare for it well, you don't get it done. You don't slow them down, and so there are definitely challenges there.
So you heard that Solich said that Gardner-Webb is an option football team, but what else is there to know about the Runnin' Bulldogs? They play in the Big South Conference in the FCS and are 1-2 this season. These two teams have played before, and Ohio is 2-0 in that series. A player to watch out for the Runnin' Bulldogs is dual-threat quarterback Tyrell Maxwell. Maxwell leads the team in passing yards and has 268 yards on the ground as well. And some more bad news for the Cleveland Browns, as if there's ever any good news. The team announced today that quarterback Josh McCown has a broken collarbone that could keep him out for about 2 months. McCown started his first game of the season this past Sunday against Baltimore, but had to come out of the game twice because of that injury. That means that on Sunday against the Dolphins, the Browns will be starting rookie Cody Kessler, their third starting quarterback in as many weeks. So let's bring it back a little closer to home again. Ohio volleyball is ready for some action. Two Mid-American Conference teams, Akron and Buffalo, are traveling to the Convocation Center tonight and tomorrow to take on the Bobcats. Akron is 5-7 on the year, and the Bulls are only 1-12. Ohio is coming off of a 1-1 performance at the Hokie Invitational last week, but coaches always talk about how the start of conference play is almost like an entirely new season. Ohio takes on the Zips tonight at 7 and will play Buffalo tomorrow. And before I let you go, here's a look at what games Gridiron Glory will be heading out to tonight. We've got crews headed all over the area, so if you see them out at your school, be sure to say hi. We'll be in Logan to see the Chiefs host the Nelsonville York Buckeyes in the Battle of 33. If you're in Pomeroy to see the Megs Marauders take on River Valley, we'll be there as well. Host Danny Dean will be in Pomeroy to crown this week's Fan of the Week, so be sure to tune in to WOUB tonight at 11:30 to see highlights and breakdowns of all of these games. It's a great night for football out there. Back over to you, Matt.
Well, man, it's going to be a great day tomorrow, too. Look at this, 79 for our OU game here in Athens. Sunny skies, that light breeze. This weekend, tomorrow, look at that, mostly sunny, clouds coming into that picture, late evening. Extended forecast looks like this. Mild weekend, looks great to me. Great day to go to the bars with your parents, whatever you want. And a great end, new work week, 70 degrees. I like it. Fall's finally here, Allison.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Allison Gens. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news at any time on WOUB.org. Have a great night.
Friday nights are all about high school football, but when the games are over and the helmets come off, it's time for some gridiron glory. I'm your host, Danny Dean, back under center. Don't miss a play this season. Join myself and the rest of our team on Friday nights at 11:30 on WOUB and catch us again on Saturday mornings at 11:30. We are committed to bringing you the stories of players, coaches, and communities, and of course, we can't forget about some highlights. We all know there's nothing better than Friday nights and gridiron glory.